As we move past the age of 60, a silent truth begins to shape our bodies without us even noticing. Our kidneys are working 2-3 times harder than before. They filter toxins with every heartbeat, every meal you eat, every sip of water you drink. But there is something most people simply don't know. While you sleep, certain nutrients can act with almost surgical precision, cleansing your blood, reducing inflammation, and easing the burden of this relentless work. That's why today I need you to stay with me until the end, because the fourth fruit on this list is so underestimated that it can literally transform your kidneys overnight. Most people believe kidney problems show up suddenly, like a surprise in a lab test. But that's one of the biggest illusions of modern health. Reality is much more subtle and gradual. Kidney function starts to decline quietly, little by little, over years or even decades before any symptoms appear. By the time you finally feel something, a large part of the damage is already there. And that's exactly why the right time to act is now, not when it's already too late. Think of your kidneys as extremely delicate filters, similar to a brand new coffee filter. When they're young, everything flows perfectly. But as the years go by, microscopic residues begin to build up. Toxins, excess minerals, poorly processed proteins. Little by little, those filters start to clog. And the most dangerous part? This process is silent. You don't feel pain, you don't feel burning, you don't get any obvious warning. The damage happens like a fire that burns with no visible flame. What many people don't understand is that a rise in creatinine is not just a random lab number. It's a cry for help. It's your body trying to tell you that the load is too heavy and something needs to change. And when I look at my patients over 60, almost all of them believe they're eating right. Eating fruits, avoiding fats, staying hydrated. But just like in many so-called healthy routines, there's a cruel paradox. Some fruits, seen as harmless or even ideal, can actually overload already weakened kidneys. And this is where the invisible danger lives. When your kidneys no longer filter as they used to, minerals like potassium and phosphorus are not eliminated efficiently. Natural sugars also start to inflame internal tissues. What was healthy at 30 can become devastating at 65. That's why you need to know exactly which fruits will help your kidneys, and which ones can push them closer to the edge. But here's the good news. Among all the food choices you can make, there is a small group of fruits that are not only safe, but actively work while you sleep to reduce inflammation, support natural filtration, and even soften the impact of elevated creatinine. And the way they work will surprise you. So let's start with the first one. The simplest, and at the same time, one of the most powerful. The apple has always been present on most of our tables, but very few people realize the silent impact it has on the kidneys. It's a discreet fruit, common, inexpensive, and that's exactly why many underestimate it. But behind that thin peel lies a rare combination of fibers and antioxidants that acts like a relief system for tired kidneys. A single apple provides a low amount of potassium, allowing the body to digest it without overloading the renal system, especially in people whose kidney function is already declining. The true strength of this fruit lies in pectin. This soluble fiber works like a magnet that captures metabolic waste, toxins, and phosphorus right in the intestine, preventing all of that from going straight to the kidneys. In other words, the apple acts as a filter before the filter. When it's eaten with the peel, where the highest concentration of bioactive compounds is found, it reduces internal inflammatory processes that accelerate the loss of kidney function. This pre-filter action relieves your kidneys while you sleep, when the body does most of its silent repair work. Another key point is that apples help keep blood sugar stable. Their relatively low glycemic index ensures a gradual release of energy, avoiding glucose spikes that damage the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys. For anyone dealing with diabetes or prediabetes, common causes of kidney disease, that stability is pure gold. And, incredibly, many of my patients report better sleep quality after adding an apple to their last meal of the day, since it helps smooth out nighttime energy swings. I remember a remarkable case. Helena, 72 years old, who had been struggling with fluctuating creatinine levels for almost 2 years. She had cut out several fruits, believing that all of them could harm her kidneys. When we added one daily apple, with peel, we noticed something extraordinary. Within a few weeks her swelling went down, and her morning energy improved. In 3 months her lab results showed real improvement. It wasn't a miracle, It was consistency, combined with the right choice. The beauty of the apple is also in how easy it is to fit into your routine. It doesn't require complicated preparation. It doesn't require special combinations. It's accessible, portable, and effective. Eating it at night can help reduce the toxin load before your body enters deep stages of sleep, allowing your kidneys to work in a lighter, more balanced internal environment. And even though it seems like a modest solution, it's exactly this kind of constant care that prevents severe declines over time. But don't be fooled. This is just the gateway. The next fruits perform even more specific functions, fighting inflammation, supporting tissue recovery, and reducing silent risks that accumulate in the body as the years go by. And the next fruit on this list, small, blue, and intense, works like a true molecular shield. If there is one fruit capable of acting deep inside kidney tissue, it's the blueberry. Don't let the tiny size fool you. Behind that dark blue color lies an impressive arsenal of antioxidants specialized in neutralizing damage that builds up with aging. The low potassium content makes blueberries safe, even for those who already show moderate loss of kidney function, and their anti-inflammatory impact tends to be faster than that of many other fruits. The real secret lies in compounds called anthocyanins. They can cross cellular barriers that most antioxidants never reach. Inside the kidney, these molecules turn off inflammatory processes that corrode the filtering cells, the nephrons. When those processes stay active for long periods, kidney function plummets. Regular consumption of blueberries helps reduce exactly that type of attack, allowing the kidney to get through the night in far less hostile conditions. I remember a patient named Richard, 68, who loved smoothies but struggled with high creatinine and prediabetes. Instead of cutting out all fruits, we swapped bananas and melons for half a cup of blueberries, 3 to 4 times per week. In 6 months, his filtration rate stopped dropping, something rare at his age. He told me, "Doctor, it feels like my body finally stopped fighting against itself." That's exactly how blueberries work. They calm the silent inflammation. Another crucial benefit is their impact on insulin sensitivity. As we age, the body tends to process sugar less efficiently, creating spikes that damage the microscopic blood vessels inside the kidneys. Blueberries help smooth that process, making metabolism more stable and less aggressive. That means less load on the kidneys throughout the night and, as a result, better cellular recovery. The effect of blueberries also extends to the cardiovascular system. They stimulate the production of nitric oxide, a substance that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. Since the kidneys rely on tiny vessels to filter blood, any improvement in circulation brings immediate relief to the entire renal system. For people over 60 with fluctuating blood pressure, this is a real nighttime gift. But even with all that power, blueberries are still not the peak of this list. There is a fruit that goes beyond protection. It activates internal mechanisms of cellular repair, something many people believe is impossible after a certain age. And this fruit, elegant and vibrant, is found in almost every grocery store. Red grapes are often linked to heart health, but their impact on the kidneys is even more impressive and much less talked about. Their thin, deeply colored skin carries a compound called resveratrol. And if there is one substance capable of switching on dormant repair genes, it's this one. While you sleep, resveratrol helps restore internal balance in the nephrons, modulating processes that usually worsen as we get older. Resveratrol activates specific proteins, such as SIRT1, which act as regulators of cellular longevity. When these proteins are turned on, they reduce deep inflammation, correct microscopic DNA damage, and stabilize the internal environment of the kidneys. For people over 60, that's exactly the kind of repair the body gradually loses the ability to do on its own. Eating grapes in the right amount restores part of this natural recovery capacity. But be careful, the right amount is essential. Grapes contain natural sugar, and in excess can raise blood glucose and inflammation. The secret lies in the therapeutic dose, around 15 to 20 grapes, 2 to 3 times per week. That amount provides safe levels of resveratrol without flooding the blood with sugar that would harm the very kidneys we're trying to protect. It's a precise and extremely efficient balance. Another remarkable point is their effect on blood vessels. Grapes strengthen the tiny vessels that sustain kidney filtration, keeping them flexible and resilient. Since aging naturally stiffens these vessels, Regular grape consumption reduces pressure on the kidneys and improves nighttime blood flow. This allows the body to eliminate toxins with less effort while you sleep, the period when the cleaning process is most active. I'll never forget a patient named Ulysses, 70 years old, with a strong family history of kidney disease. After adding small portions of purple grapes 3 times a week, his inflammatory markers began to drop consistently. He didn't change anything else. No new supplements, no new workout routine, just the right swap. It's impressive how something so simple can generate such deep effects when done with discipline. But get ready, because the last fruit on this list is even more surprising. It contains a unique enzyme found in almost no other common fruit, capable of breaking down inflammatory proteins that build up inside the kidneys, something extremely rare. And when it's eaten fresh, its nighttime effect can be truly transformative. Pineapple is often seen as an indulgent fruit, something to cool you down on hot days or sweeten a dessert. But in reality, it's one of the best kidney allies there is, especially after the age of 60. That's because pineapple brings together 3 traits that are hard to find in one single fruit: low potassium, a gentle diuretic effect, and a unique enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain has an impressive ability to break down inflammatory proteins that accumulate in the kidneys. This action is almost like cleaning up microscopic debris that prevents kidney tissue from working efficiently. During sleep, when the body naturally tones down inflammation, bromelain amplifies this process, allowing more waste to be cleared without extra effort. On top of that, pineapple contains powerful antioxidants such as vitamin C, which neutralize free radicals before they damage the delicate structures of the nephrons. Many people over 60 live with chronic low-grade inflammation, which, although silent, corrodes kidney health over time. The combination of bromelain and antioxidants works precisely in this deep layer where damage slowly builds up. Another key point is its gentle diuretic action. Unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, which can dehydrate and stress vulnerable kidneys, pineapple stimulates urine flow in a balanced way. This helps remove sodium, toxins, and excess fluid without creating additional strain. Many of my patients report less swelling in their legs and ankles after just 2 weeks of eating fresh pineapple. And here's the key: it must be fresh pineapple. Bromelain is destroyed during pasteurization, which means canned versions or commercial juices do not deliver the same benefits. Eating half to 1 cup, 2 to 3 times per week, is enough to activate the therapeutic effect, especially when consumed a few hours before bedtime. When combined with the other fruits, apples, blueberries, and red grapes, pineapple completes a powerful cycle of protection, cleansing, and regeneration. It's as if each fruit takes on a specific role, all working in sync while you rest. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to organize this routine in a simple, practical, and sustainable way. Now that you know the 4 most powerful fruits to protect and restore your kidneys, the next step is crucial: knowing how to organize them throughout the week to maximize their effects. It's not the amount that creates lasting impact, it's consistency. And after 60, habits practiced daily have far more power than any isolated treatment. When you distribute these fruits strategically, you create a constant cycle of support for your kidneys, especially at night. The ideal routine looks like this: apples on Mondays and Thursdays, always with the peel; blueberries on Tuesdays and Fridays, half a cup each time; red grapes on Wednesdays, a small portion with the skin; and pineapple on Saturdays and Sundays, always fresh. This system keeps a balanced rotation of fiber, antioxidants, enzymes, and anti-inflammatory compounds. It avoids overload, provides nutritional variety, and keeps your kidneys receiving positive signals constantly. If you want to boost the benefits even more, prepare everything in advance. Slice the apple and let it rest with a bit of lemon to prevent browning. Portion the blueberries into small containers. Wash and separate the grapes into small clusters. Cut fresh pineapple and store it in airtight containers. That way, you eliminate the excuse of, "I didn't have time." The power is in the details, and prepping your week ahead of time is one of the simplest and most effective strategies your kidneys could receive. I want you to understand something fundamental. Kidney disease rarely appears suddenly. It's the result of small daily neglects repeated over time. But, in the same way, recovery also comes from small, intentional choices repeated with discipline. By adding these 4 fruits and creating a nightly support cycle, you're interrupting a decline you might not even know was happening. Now I want to challenge you. Do the 7-day kidney reset. Follow the fruit rotation. Watch your body. Notice changes in swelling, in your sleep, in your energy, in your mental clarity. Very often it's your own body that silently shows gratitude for simple, consistent choices. And if this video opened your mind and brought you hope, share it with someone who needs to hear this message before it's too late. Your kidney health is not just about avoiding the worst, it's about nurturing the best. And from this moment on, you have in your hands a simple, accessible, and deeply effective method to turn your nights into moments of true internal recovery. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and keep following along, because every week I bring natural, science-based strategies to keep your body strong and thriving for years to come. I'm Dr. Kenji Hartman, and I'll see you in the next video.